Hello, Jory Kitty.
Wow.
Where'd you get those? Those are adorable.
Isn't it the cutest ever? I really
No,
love
I
it.
was just being nice.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care. It's adorable.
Okay, so this is Jake versus Memow. I'll just put it out there right now. I usually hate these kind of stories where someone's being framed or forced to do something and they can't tell someone. They just drive me insane because you kind of know what's going to happen and then you're just kind of going through this plot. And I always hate when it's like, come on, there's got to be some way. It just, personally, it drives me nuts. But Memow is fucking adorable. Memow is like the cutest little thing, and I think I get a big laugh when you have, you know, like a little kid voice saying something that's like really gruesome or really mean. That kind of stuff, especially if it's a real kid, and that just really cracks me up. But you got, you got Wild Berry Princess who lives in this very strange place that was like a delicatessen or something?
It looked more like a slaughterhouse.
Like
like a
butcher's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's even one where it's like a bull and some other animal, and then just like a chainsaw next to it. I'm like, what the hell goes on here? So, I guess that's her kingdom or something. I don't know. And somebody's gonna try to assassinate her, and so she calls on Finn and Jake. And it turns out it's Memow with his tiny, tiny little cat who wants to get into the Guild of Assassins and hides inside Jake's nose and threatens him with poison, or actually puts the poison in him and says that she'll let him live if he kills the Wild Berry Princess, which is like, why doesn't she? Well, I was gonna say why doesn't she do it, but I guess because he knows and he can stop her. So yeah. And then at the very end, she gave him enough to kill a dog 50 times his size, and so he turns into a dog 50 size plus 1 that size.
His liver, just his liver.
Yeah, oh, just his liver.
Just his liver.
I thought that was very funny. That's a clever way out of that. Yeah, like I said, I'm usually not a fan of these stories, but I just love Memow. That's all I got. I think she's just really funny.
Well, I just love the fact that even when Jake figures out a way to tell Finn,
he still doesn't believe it.
well, it's not just that, but Finn's kind of like a doofus. Oh, cats meow, yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Shh, shh, shh. Meow, 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 meow.
When I think that's something where it sounds strange, but I kind of got that because, like, when you're, I don't know, when you're a kid, there's something about when, like, just naturally you want to do the opposite of what somebody's telling you. Yeah, so if someone goes, shh, you just naturally, defiance want to go louder.
Notice he's getting louder.
Exactly. So, yeah, so I like that. Again, it still very much feeds into the fact that, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. How about you, Catters?
I love Memow, and I think for me it's the voice. It's really the voice.
Yeah, the voice is what makes it.
I'm a million times with you on that. If it's just cute, adorable little kid's voice saying these horrible things, I love it. I love the animation when Memow is fighting with Finn, where he goes and he kind of, whoa!
Kind of like that, yes.
Well, he's running around Finn, and
Why, Jory, when did you get here? Sorry.
There we go. Anyway, and when he's running up around that tree, it was really neat because I don't know, it felt at the same time like really long and extended, but also happening at the same time, and it was a really great.
It seemed to me very buggish. Like, he's like this bug going...
Yeah,
It's a she, isn't it?
Well, she, yeah, sorry.
It was kind of just a really great way to kind of say, all right, Memow is really tiny without just animating it with everything giant and tiny little Memow. It was a really neat way to show it.
The way the camera would follow her around the tree and around Finn and
really
stuff like that. I really like that line when she cuts his cheek and says, you're only making me look cooler.
Yeah. Well, it reminded me a lot of Conquest of Cuteness, where over the hill comes this giant-looking guy, and by the time it gets up to Finn, he punches, and he's like not even knee-high. It's kind of like Memow. You see, like, she goes, ah! And then finally gets to Jake, and it's like, cut. It's like this little, like, paper cut almost. It's like, oh, that's right. Memow is really tiny.
As it reminded me in in Fellowship of the Ring, this is total subject change, but just like when Liv Tyler, like, at some point she's riding the horse and then, like, she hits a branch and she gets a little cut on the side of her cheek. It's like, that's just what I thought, okay, you're just doing that to look cooler. You know, it's like, you didn't fight anyone, you didn't really, I mean, get in a big sword fight or anything, but, you know, oh, a branch, oh, I have a battle wound, ooh. So in the trailer when she says, come and claim him, she can look badass because she has a little scar right there. How'd you get that scar? I bet it was a fight. I gotta see this movie.
No, it was a branch.
She got into a fight with a tree.
With a tree.
I've seen enough movies with stuff like that. Troll 3.
Oh my god.
Evil Dead. I mean, come on.
All of which are not Adventure Time related.
That's true. But, unlike Liv Tyler's character, at least, you know, Finn is a badass and he gets those scars and all those wounds.
He earned those
That's
scars,
true.
not just by bumping into a tree.
Whatever.
So what do you think? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, I agree with you on the whole. It's annoying when someone's like, I have to do this because if I don't, this is going to happen, yada yada yada. But at least with this one, what I love is Jake is literally kind of caught because the killer is in his nose. He does one thing wrong, the killer just goes, you're dead. Unlike other ones where it's like, oh no, you can't do anything because I'm holding blank hostage, or this is possibly going on over there. It's like, no, the killer is literally in his nose.
I kind of like, too, when she keeps injecting him with the poison. He's just getting sicker and sicker. He's trying to, oh, hey, guys, what do you say we can go out this way? Oh.
Actually, one of my favorite scenes is where Wildberry Princess and Finn come in. And Jake's like, yeah, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you died.
Yes. Why would you say that?
Like, how could you segue into that?
I just love that because it was like...
You know, it's something I wanted to... Like, these later Adventure Times, this time I want to run across you. The last shot in this is this bird flying, and they see Memow behind the bird. I was saying to myself, if this was kind of like the older Adventure Time, they would just show the bird flying, and that's it, nothing else.
Yeah.
It would just end with a random bird flying, and we don't get quite as much of that in the later episodes. And I'm wondering if that's something where it's like, do you think they started off like sort of with this kind of sense of humor? Not to say they have a totally different sense of humor, but where it really was random and they decided to put this story in, or do you think it was sort of planned from the beginning?
You know, I could sit there and be one of those people online that's like, you know, oh my god, they totally had this planned from the beginning, blah, 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 blah. No, I think it was more, season 1 they had like an overall concept they liked, but there's a lot of like bizarre things they wanted to toss in, and as it's gone along, they're growing along with Finn, in a sense, like, okay, you know what? Not like, oh, Finn's now 14, we should totally do blank. It's more like, okay, you know what, for this season I think we're going to pull back on the bizarreness of the endings and have a little bit more of an overarching storyline. It's almost like they're maturing along with Finn.
You know, it seems to me like when you have a show you want to keep going, you can't just do the same thing or else you get, you know, Simpsons or Family Guy or something like that. You have to do something different. You have to do it from a different angle. And it seems to me like this is a show they want to keep it going for a while, so the best way to do it is, like you said, just go more into the character, the maturity, and this background. And my guess would be that they probably did have, like, the apocalypse thing, like, in the back of their mind. Like, maybe they'll just put a few things here and there. Mm-hmm. But... yeah, in terms of like this big backstory with all the other characters, it's like, yeah, they probably wrote this and thought it'd be funny. It's like, no, let's keep going. Like, let's see if we can keep really pushing this and like have reasons for everything and have it all tie back in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's almost like they're maturing along with the show. Like, some shows get worse as they go along because, well, like The Simpsons. The first seasons, it's like, okay, this is our first, we're doing really, really good, we're really cutting edge. And by now, they're like old people. Like, they should just, like,
you just want them to die.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you've gotten past your great your great seasons, and now you're just kind of
death threats.
Whatever.
You realize that.
But it's like now you're just pushing the same jokes you always have. All these characters have backstories. All these characters have this, that, and the other thing. There's not much more you can really do with it. With like Adventure Time, at least right now, you know so little about the characters' backgrounds that they can do. Heck, almost an entire season for like each character. Not a season, at least a few episodes. And it would still be fresh for a few seasons.
Well, I think with something like Simpsons or all these other shows, it's like, okay, this character, what's their story? What's their background? Okay, God, this character, what's their story? What's their background? And in this, you have their personalities and their abilities, but you don't know their background. You don't even know the background of the world, and so it's very slowly revealed. And I think by starting off really goofy, sort of this Ren Stimpy type humor, it's just surreal and nonsense and stuff, and then putting the story in there, suddenly sucking you in, like, wait, so all this weird stuff actually kind of has an explanation? Like, I gotta know what the hell is causing all this and how this is all happening, so,
Instead of starting with some deep storyline, they started off with bizarreness, and then they're slowly bringing in the deep storyline, which is kind of like, to me, that's what kind of pulled me in more than anything else was, as I was going along, it was like, wow, okay, that actually has meaning. This part was actually referenced in episode 1. This, like, it's this really nice interconnecting thing. I don't think they planned it from the get-go, but it's nice that they kind of go back and they bring up things that have already been mentioned, and then there's a lot of foreshadowing. I don't know, it just feels like it's a very mature show for kids.
Yeah, I'd like to... I mean, and we don't know, or maybe you do, I don't know, but I mean, like, with the creators and stuff, I mean, we don't know if they did plan this from the beginning or if they didn't, whatever. I would like to think what you say, that they didn't, because I like the idea that you can start with something and you can keep evolving it. And you keep adding on top to it, and you can make it stronger, you can make it better, and... again, unlike something like Simpsons that runs the course. I'm sorry for hating on The Simpsons so much. But something that runs its course and they just keep doing the same thing, they sort of, it seems like Adventure Time sort of ran its course with this surreal humor. It's like, okay, well now what else can we do? And they're giving this backstory and making it still funny, but also very different. I mean, like I said, the ending of this show... If this was the first season, this ending would just have the bird flying and nothing else.
Yeah.
But now they're showing that Memow's there, she's going to come back, and the story's going to continue, and you're going to find out more, what's going to happen, and you legitimately want to know what's going to happen 5 or 6 episodes down the line. Where in the first one, it's like, you didn't care what happened the next episode, so I want goofy fun stuff. So I like that. I like that it, like you said, it matures. I think it's a very good way of putting it.
No, I mean, again, you can get peeved if we're mocking The Simpsons, but I'll say the same thing about Family Guy. And I'm a Family Guy fan. It's that once you find out all the backstories about, everyone, the characters, the town, and all that stuff, you can only go so far before you start retreading everything you've already done before. And the problem with a lot of these shows is they do an entire episode based around one character and you learn everything about him. One good thing that Adventure Time is doing, considering it's an 11-minute format, is that it gives you bits and pieces, bits and pieces, bits and pieces, to slowly build up that character. Instead of giving an entire episode, no, when you paste it together by the time you learn their entire backstory, it's going to be like an hour-long episode per character. But they're only giving it to you in tiny little bits and pieces, which I think works a lot better. It makes you want to come back and see everything.
Yeah.
Once you learn the backstory of Otto, you're not going to kind of really care the next time you talk about Otto's backstory because it's already been stated.
I need to know more about Otto's history and his future. What will happen to Otto? Will he drive the bus more and return to the status quo?
But I mean, we can say that in a sense, like almost mock it, but it's like, look at some of the characters we actually really enjoy in this. They're kind of background characters sometimes. Sometimes they're kind of like, okay, Lady Rainicorn. What does she really do? We really like her, but it's like she's almost on the level as Otto. She's a background character that kind of has a bigger part than she probably should have. And I love Lady Rainicorn, don't get me wrong, but it's like, back in the good old days of The Simpsons, it was like, Otto is just awesome, this is great. I'm wondering 10 years from now, we're going to look back and go, oh, Lady Rainicorn, oh god, what were we thinking?
She seems funny now.
Jake's dating her, so clearly
Clearly there's something to her.
Something's good about her.
I like Lady Rainicorn. I'm just saying how times change. I'm just saying that.
Well, like I said, it's a different show now than it was when it started off. But I take that as a good thing, Like you said, that is evolving, it is maturing.
By the time you get to season 5, it's evolved even more.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. So...
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thanks to you.
Thank you.
Don't you thank her.
Thank you.
Don't thank her.
Taking my cutie patootie back.
I didn't want it!
You said it was cute. It's cute.
It's cute on you, not on me!
Well, that's
cute
for
on
goddamn sure.
I'm ugly.
I thought it was kind of cute on him.
No.
That's okay. I still love you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
No.
Don't you touch me there. Young man. What did I tell you about naughty spots?